Good evening and welcome into the warm-up show, everybody, as the Memphis Grizzlies get set to take on the Denver Nuggets. Filling in for Lang Whitaker, I am Jon Roser, alongside one of the OGs of Grind City Media, Michael Wallace. Mike, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, I'm proud to be an OG, right?
Man,
there's like
you're
three
like
OGs.
You're like, there's three OGs
left.
Mike Blevins.
He is one.
Mike
He's
Blevins,
one of the three.
Chris Vernon, you.
And me. That's it.
And then Alexis Morgan. Y'all all four.
Oh, that's still here. That's still here. Yeah. Alexis is a forever member.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all be on the Mount Rushmore. The Memphis Grizzlies are coming off back-to-back wins for the first time all season. In fact, the first time since the end of November, beginning of December of 2023, they've held back-to-back opponents below 100 points. Santi went for 20 and 8. Cam Spencer, 17 off the bench. Zach Edey, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks in 26 minutes, had his first double-double of the season. And you say, when they're playing the Denver Nuggets tonight, who are 12-4, one of the best teams in the NBA with championship aspirations, how can the Grizzlies possibly get a win? Well, I tell you, what about Saturday night? And what happened Saturday night was the Sacramento Kings, the team this Grizzlies team beat by over 40 last Thursday, went into Denver and beat the Nuggets. So, Mike Wallace, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. This Denver team is a strong team. The Grizzlies do have a history of beating this Denver team here. They split 2 games here on that back-to-back last year when they played here. But the bottom line is this. The Grizzlies are feeling good, right? Yeah. They're feeling good, and they're going to get some encouraging injury news tonight as well in terms of one of their key guys coming back. We'll get back to that in a second. But when you play the way the Grizzlies have been playing, they're playing for one another. They're having fun. You're seeing not only the defense that you pointed out, Roser, but the assist numbers. And those assist numbers are courtesy of this guy that's warming up behind us back here. You know, Vince Williams Jr., man. He's playing, and I call him Rondo. He had a Rondo stat line the other night, man. So
he did.
All good. Keep that thing going. And hey, who knows? You'll give yourself a shot against this Denver team.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of injuries. We'll get to those in just a little bit. But tonight, let's head to the storylines.
Yeah.
One direction, as we just mentioned, the Grizzlies won 2 in a row. They figured some things out. You talked about the defensive and rebounding. The biggest thing, is it sustainable? Is this what the identity is? It feels like it's, you know, we're only through 16, 17 games, but it feels like it's kind of been evolving. But do they kind of think they know what they are now?
I think it's hard, and I want to say yes, right? Because the results you see when you win, and you're winning one game with high assists, you know, setting the franchise record, 43 assists. You win the other night with defense. You're locking teams down. And that's what Tuomas Isolo has talked about since training camp. We want to be a team that's going to be disruptive defensively, that's going to pressure and force turnovers, and that's going to get on the other end and play fast and play together. So we're seeing some of the skeleton of what this is supposed to look like, but you can never see the full picture until 12 and 8 are on the floor with these guys leading the way. Ja and Jaren have to be in the middle of this in order for it to reach its full potential, but I like what I'm seeing so far.
And you dropped a little bear claw, little bear, see bear claw, see what I did there, Grizzlies?
Bears, yes.
A little bear claw.
Yeah.
That the Grizzlies could get some good injury news about somebody potentially being back tonight. They're playing this team. I mentioned the rebounding. The Nuggets 5th in rebounding in the league. The Grizzlies, though, 29-12 in second chance points the other night, but room to improve. 26 of 56 in the paint. Obviously can get better there. One of the reasons the Grizzlies have been successful these last 2 games, Santi Aldama, right now averaging a career best 14 points per game. He's at 49 points in the last 2 games as a starter. He is the leading rebounder other than Zach Edey. Is this the Santi you think we're getting every night now?
This is supposed to be the Santi that re-signed on that contract extension. This is the Santi that the Grizzlies wanted when they bought him back on that lucrative contract. And as you can see, not only was he the player of the game against the Dallas Mavericks, he did it on a number of different ways, man. He's a multi-level scorer. We know the catch-and-shoot game is there. We know he can put the ball on the floor. We know he has all of those tools at 6'11" and able to get into the rim, into the paint, and downhill like that. The one thing that Santi has to do now, he's done it as a starter, he's done it coming off the bench, as you said. Can he sustain it? Kudos to Santi, shout out to him, because he was the Memphis Grizzlies nominee for Western Conference Player of the Week. He didn't get it. Some guy in Oklahoma City got it again, the reigning MVP. But definitely one of those situations where he's the guy that you need to continue to be productive.
No, look, Santi, the field goal percentage has ticked up from the beginning of the year. Obviously got off to a little slow start, but I think a lot of guys on the team did. It's been kind of a tough season with the injuries in and out of things.
And adjusting. The lineups have been all different.
And the offense has been different in what you're asked for. Defensively, offensively, it's all been a little different. You've gotten the adjustments, substitution patterns. But as you said, a career-high 14 points per game, 13.9. We round up here on the warm-up show. A career-high 14 points per game. The field goal percentage is great, right there at 48%. The three-point percentage
is climbing.
It's climbing right now. He's just at 32, 33% right now. He was around 37, 38 last year.
Yeah, he's got to get that up.
You think he's going to get up there?
He's got to get that up. And think about it now. Like with Zach Edey back, he's going to get more open looks because the gravity that Zach commands in the paint pulls defenses in. So Santi's going to get a lot of walk-up threes, a lot of catch-and-shoot threes, and especially from the corner, man. He knows what he's doing in that situation. So I expect that number to creep up towards 38, 39, and hopefully to 40%.
Yeah, he's been a pretty consistent three-point shooter throughout his career. The 32, 33, that's not really what Santi
Slow start. He got up to that slow start. But he's backing his way in.
The whole team did. So, but it appears these last two games, things starting to move in the right direction. Last but not least, because of injuries here at Storylines tonight, the Grizzlies, once again, we have a new player. A 10-day hardship signing, Kobe Buffkin, a former draft pick of the Atlanta Hawks, signing Kobe Buffkin to a hardship exception. They did this with Charles Bassey, a 10-day contract earlier on the hardship exception. Bassey was a big guy. Kobe, a smaller player, around 6'4", 200 pounds. What are the Grizzlies getting in here? Do you think he's actually going to get the play?
Well, he might not if Vince Williams Jr. continues to play the way he's playing. If Santi, on the perimeter, if obviously Cam Spencer is doing what he's doing, I thought Bassey was signed to actually play. Yeah. And it took him 3 or 4 games before he finally got a chance to get out on the floor. Buffkin is a guy, he's more of a combo guard. He gives you another ball handler out there in case Vince or somebody goes down. And the fact that he had to come on as a injury exception tells you that the Grizzlies still have at least 4 players who are going to be out extended amounts of time. You got the update on Ty Jerome, obviously. He's going to be 6 to 9 weeks out. Brandon Clark is still in that 6 to 9 week window. You still have guys. Jon Morant is out right now. And Scottie Pippen Jr. is still going to be out for a while. So that's unfortunate because all of those guys are frontline guys. But what Buffkin can do is a break glass in case of emergency combo guard who knows what to do with the basketball when he's on the floor.
And look, I've seen this over the years with this team. I remember, Tony Roten once upon a time, who was a first-round pick, but he wasn't getting playing time because he was drafted by a team that was ready to win and trying to compete for a Western Conference title. And then there's a random game he got thrown in here. I believe it was against the Lakers, and he had to start because of injuries to Mike Conley, and I can't remember who the backup was at that time, too. But there were 2 injuries that he had to start, came out, played a great game. Yeah. I remember Chris Johnson forever ago came in here,
LSU,
had a couple big 10 days for the Grizzlies and played really well. So some of these guys like
Bismack Biyombo 2 years ago,
he
helped out in the very beginning of the season.
Some of these guys who are hungry, and we saw Charles Bassey do some good things for him, but then you got the big fella back, Zach Edey. So then Bassey was like, but some of these guys, they come in, they're hungry. Yeah. Like you can't underestimate that too, because these guys are fighting for that next 10-day, for another 2-way, for an actual contract. So you never know what you're going to get there.
No, you don't. And what you also need, one of the things I learned with the Bassey signing is that everyone expects these 10-day injury exception guys to come in and play, but you're really bringing them in to be extra bodies at practice because practices are so few and far between. You don't want to burn your frontline guys on days where it's just workout days. So when you have guys, particularly guys that are rehabbing their way back, they need guys to go up against. So Bassey's biggest contribution was scrimmaging against Zach Edey to get Zach Edey on the runway to return. So we'll see how it goes with Kobe Buffkin from here.
All right, Mike, we'll talk to you in just a bit. Coming up here after this break, Jessica Benson sits down with me, and then we've got my man, Good Hippie, his 191 collab coming to FedEx Forum soon. That's up next right here on the Warm Up Show.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
The world needs B2K.
breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
And welcome back to the warm-up show here. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X. Jon Roser filling in for Lang Whitaker tonight. Grizzlies getting set to take on the Denver Nuggets here at FedEx Forum. And joining me now, the host of the Jessica Benson Show, weekdays, 8 a.m. with CJ Hurt, Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, and also my co-host on the Double Post along with Bennett Doyle, which you can hear tonight about 30 minutes following the Grizzlies Nuggets. She's also pre-halftime and post-game host on the Memphis Grizzlies radio network for all of the home games. Did I get all of it?
I think you got all of it.
Did I get all of it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. Many hats. Many
the hats are many.
Many hats. All right, Jessica. The Grizzlies take on the Denver Nuggets tonight, and this is all I have. Jessica gives us her main character for the night.
Sums it up.
So, Jessica Benson, who is your main character for the night? The people want to know.
There are a few situations in this league where an opposing player will be the main character every time they walk in the building, and that is Nikola Jokic.
It is.
Averaging a triple-double.
Yes.
In his year 30 of life. He's been awesome. I mean, you're having conversations about, is this the greatest offensive player that we have ever seen? He is the primary reason. The eco-center of Nikola Jokic is why the Denver Nuggets are second in points in the NBA this season, second offensive net rating in the NBA this season. What he does himself, but also in the pick-and-roll game with Jamal Murray. This Nuggets team is dealing with a fair number of injuries of their own, being down two starters in Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown, but they have their two most important players in Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, and obviously their most important player in Jokic. So I'm really curious how the Grizzlies adjust. Coach Tomas Isola was asked about it before the game, and he really has focused on keeping things simple with this Grizzlies group, and you don't want one of my favorite Isoloisms, paralysis by analysis.
We're going to need to get your top three one night.
Paralysis by analysis is my clear-cut number one, and I can understand how a player like Jokic would lead to that phenomenon happening. Yeah. So this is a big opportunity for Zach Edey to continue playing big, the Grizzlies front court in its totality, because now you also have a Nuggets team where in years past, when Jokic goes to the bench, they haven't had anything to give. Now they have an old friend in Jonas Valanciunas, who, as Mike Wallace once said over and over when he played for the Grizzlies, rolls out of bed, gets a double-double. So there's no drop-off there.
He absolutely does. Jokic, one of the things I appreciate the most about Jokic is we're in this era, because the NBA has always been high flyers. Those guys get all the love. One of the things I love the most about Jokic is that he's none of that, and everybody appreciates it.
Yes.
Everybody appreciates everything about him. All right, so Jokic is your big guy. What's your main matchup? Give me one thing to watch for tonight outside of Jokic.
Outside of Jokic.
Yeah.
The continued evolution of Vince Williams. Vince Williams versus Jamal Murray, the point guard battle we absolutely all expected to see when it comes to Grizzlies Nuggets. Now, Vince has been awesome since being inserted into the starting lineup and having to play in a role that's less than natural for him, but you wouldn't completely know that. I thought some of the passes that he made in the other night's game in Dallas were really impressive, whereas the win here against the Kings, a lot of it was, hey, find 7'4" Zach Edey, and it's really hard to mess that up. But there was some really nice vision work from Vince Williams Jr. So looking forward to seeing that tonight. And for this Grizzlies team, can they keep it close, and can they close it out in a fourth quarter. Like the games that they haven't won as of late, they've been in them. They've had really positive stretches of basketball. They just haven't put it together against some of the better teams. And I think you and I have both said on the double post, or as my mom calls it these days, the double-double. Can never remember that it's the double post. It's just the double-double. The next evolution of changing our perspective on this Grizzlies team is if they beat one of these better teams. And I don't care that the Nuggets are down 2 starters. They still have Nikola Jokic, and a win tonight would go a long way in that.
It absolutely would. You get to the fourth quarter in a close game. That comes Williams, Edey defending that pick and roll with Murray and Jokic. Jessica, I appreciate it. We're going to talk to good Hippie. Miles, Season 4 Hippie, the fourth quarter 191 collabs. It's coming to you soon. We're going to talk about it with him next here on the Warm Up Show.
Can Valley play spoiler, Mike, last game of the season?
I was hoping they could, maybe if that was at home. But the bottom line is that this is senior night for Prairie View, man. And they putting the caps on a remarkable season to get back to the SWAC championship game. I'm sorry, Ronnie. I wanted to go Valley by 49, but I just can't. I gotta go Prairie View by 1.
I don't care what the stats say. Y'all know week by week I'ma say the same thing. Valley by 50. I ain't lying.
Welcome back to the warm-up show. Mike Wallace out, Jessica Vincent out. Miles, a.k.a. Miles Thomas, a.k.a. Good Hippie in for 5 good minutes with Good Hippie. His 191 collab, his 4th edition, 4th quarter, coming to you December 5th. Your 4th 191 collab?
4th one.
The last one was 3-peat?
Yes,
This one's 4th quarter. All right, so what were the first 2 called?
So the first 2, it was Section 118, then it was In Due Time.
I've still got my Section 118.
Section 118 is still like my favorite, absolutely. So it's like Section 118, In Due Time, and then the last one was It All Comes Together, and then 4th quarter now.
Man, all right, when did you start?
So I got started really in like 2020, really like the COVID time. I kind of always been making like merch and stuff. I was really going to school for like songwriting actually, but then I found myself like more caring about the merch and all of that. And so when COVID hit, it was like I think everybody was like, let's see what we could do. And I was like, let's see what happens with the merch thing. And it started just going kind of well. You know, I got my first big opportunity working with Wale on his last album, and I was like, okay, maybe it's starting to work. And then sure enough, we got here, and the Grizzlies called, and was like, let's do a 191 collab, and it's been taking off ever since then.
Hippie season approaching.
Hippie season approaching, you know what I mean?
4th quarter 191 collabs, December 5th at FedEx Forum, 191collabs.com. And I will tell you, if you want to get any of this merch, you're wearing this
hoodie is gonna be in the collection, man. Yeah, this 4th quarter right here. This is like a sun-dyed hoodie. I kind of wanted to keep playing on like I was taking elements from different jerseys in different eras last season, so I kind of wanted to continue that when it came to the 4th quarter. And the whole like theme of the 4th quarter is just playing my best ball, because I feel like that's the 4th quarter is when you got to show out. So everything was like my best items that I feel like I put in any of my Grizz collabs. For sure.
And look, I'll tell you, look at this, some of the stuff we got here.
Yeah, so this is the hockey jersey right here. So the hockey jersey last year actually, and that's my favorite item, the jacket. But
like the jacket, man, what is that like?
It's like fur, so it's like faux fur. It's gonna be like mohair faux fur. Wanted you to feel like you in Grizz's skin. You know what I mean? Like you Grizz for a day. You know
I
what
could
I'm
get
saying?
a fit off.
You know what I mean? You can get a fit off for sure.
I get a fit off.
No, you can definitely get a fit
somebody
off.
would have to style. Oh, dude.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Yeah, man. I feel like I got to do a bear shirt every collection. Like, it's no way I don't do a bear shirt every collection. It's my thing. So, like, the whole collection was just kind of built off me doing my best. And so, like, every item, I was able to sit down with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this was the most time I've had. Like, I was thinking about the other day, I told Carly, like, this collection, I started as soon as I finished the last one. So, I had been working on this one. I told her in March when we shot the last ad, I was like, I'm ready. Like, I'm already ready. Let's go ahead and put it together. And she was like, okay, it's never too early to start. And so then I got started.
All right, I want one of the bear shirts.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
I want one of the bear shirts. By the way, this stuff go fast.
Yeah, man.
And the doors will open at 5:30 for it. You can get there at 5:30, available in the Grizz. December 5th, the 4th quarter, 191 collabs. I do want to ask you, because you talked about when you got started, what is the process like? Like, is it, because I've seen some fashion designers where it's like, they have just the fabric, the material. How do you pick that out? Do you literally just lay lay it out on the ground and start kind of throwing stuff on it? Just
no, I'm throwing stuff around all the time. Like, I would hate for somebody to come to my office and like see what it's like when I'm designing, because I'm kind of throwing stuff everywhere. I'm watching a lot of different things. I'm doing everything. I kind of equate it to like making music. You know what I mean? Like when you're making an album or anything like that, there's so many different influences, and I'm the same way. So there's going to be a lot of mood boards, things like that, and fabrics hanging everywhere. Especially when it came to that jacket this year, it was like I was testing so many different, furs, trying to make sure that it felt right, that everything was right. So it's worked out.
Who models for it? Do you have do you say like, okay, you have somebody that tries it on, and you're like, that looks good, and then the next person tries it on, and you're like, that doesn't look as good, and then you go back to the drawing board, or do you just decide? I have no idea.
I try to really go with like my friends. Like friends are people, because I feel like I'm not somebody that's gonna be wearing some crazy outfits, right? And I want my stuff to be for where it can go in, everybody can wear it. So you can style it up, you can style it down. If you want to be like me and just wear a hoodie and jeans, you could do that. Or if you want a hoodie, corduroy pants, whatever you want to do. So I try to take it to everybody and see what people like, for sure.
Just say Devin Walker.
Yeah.
Just say you like Devin Walker.
No, I'm not saying
I want a model for you.
If you want a model for me, I got you. I got you. We can do it next season.
Yeah. For sure.
For sure, man.
All right, Miles, I appreciate it. The fourth quarter 191 Collabs, it's coming December 5th. Check it out, 191collabs.com. You want to get more information on that, Miles. I appreciate it. When we get back, last segment on the warm-up show, Mike Wallace rejoins me. Jon Roser, this is the warm-up show. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X. We'll be right back.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we ain't leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringside packages on sale next Friday.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike? 2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night. Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
All right, welcome back to FedEx Forum and the warm-up show here at Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X. Jon Roser filling in for Lang Whitaker once again, joined by Mike Wallace here courtside. And Mike, we have got to get into what's going on around the NBA. And, well, one of the big stories actually does involve the Grizzlies and what happened Saturday night in Dallas. We call it fresh beef. Klay Thompson and John Morant, obviously, after the game got into it. Klay Thompson then spoke after the game. Klay Thompson said nothing of intelligent depth. It really was just running his mouth. Yada, yada, yada. We've all seen the clips. We've all heard everything. Unless you completely live under a rock, you haven't heard any of this.
Right.
Klay says John needs to play more, and he doesn't like dirty players. This feels like this has nothing to do with Dallas or the Dallas fans. This is still a grudge from a couple of years ago from the Golden State days.
Well, you go back. I mean, the Grizzlies put out the Warriors in the play-in.
Yep.
You know, right after the pandemic or during the pandemic,
Tillman.
right? And then after that, you know, the Warriors hadn't, you know, the Grizzlies hadn't been able to beat the Warriors. So it's been a lot of bad blood going back and forth. The bottom line is this, man. Klay Thompson has always been that get-off-my-lawn guy, right? Like,
yes,
he feels
has.
like, you know, he always has that chip on his shoulder. He always wants to flash the 4 rings up. He's a Hall of Famer. He's earned it. There's a space, though, where both things can be true. What he said about Jon Morant, it's true.
It is.
If it wasn't in the midst of the controversy, if he just said it on a podcast and take away all the finger pointing and all that, it will come across as, hey, man, I want to see Jon Morant play well. I want to see this guy do some things. He's a superstar, but he's got to be available.
Yep.
Jon has to be available. He has to be available. We've seen this version of Ja the last 2 or 3 years. I want to see a different version of Ja. I want to see the Ja that takes these Grizzlies to the next level.
Yeah.
And until he does that, these little altercations, man, they're just comical.
Yeah, I get both sides of it because because one side of it, it's like Klay Thompson, like you would have been shouting crazy things if you had hit that shot from almost half court at the end of the game. You would have been shouting crazy things. But on the other side, I do get the other end of it from other people that just say it's one more thing we're hearing about Jon Morant. It's nothing to do with it's not him on the basketball
But the part about
court.
Ja that's sticking up for his teammates, that's celebrating his teammates' success, I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
I'm absolutely all for that. I just got to see more of Ja out of Nike Techs and into his number 12s, right? So give me more 12 moments and keep this thing going, and Ja, you're going to be just fine.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Our next one, farewell to CP3. Chris Paul has announced this will be his last season in the NBA. Look, I'll ask you in a second, but one of my, as you see here, look at this, Chris Paul.
All of the jerseys.
All of the jerseys. So much to be grateful, so much left. Grateful that this is grateful for this last one. Chris Paul.
20 seasons, man.
Look, 20 seasons. I will tell you, I got on Jimmy Kimmel because of a tweet about Chris Paul.
Oh, I'm thinking you're saying you got on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I'm like, when, Roser?
I was on Mean
Tweets. Okay.
Mean tweets about Chris Paul. It was Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. We have a screenshot of it. Look at that screen.
That is you.
I hate Chris Paul with every bone in my body, with every vein, every hair on my head, every bit of my blood. I hate him. I really do. Look at young CP3 and young DeAndre Jordan.
Yes.
Chris Paul looked at the camera and goes, somebody needs a hug. Said that. Now, this is during the Grizzlies-Clippers rivalry. If you want to know how deep that was, the Chris Paul hatred in Memphis, but it was also respect to you. I think he's absolutely one of the all-time greats. It's a shame. It seems like he's not going to win a championship in his career, but he's absolutely deserving of it. Chris Paul's legacy to you.
Man, and see, this is dating me, too, because, like, I remember doing a story. I was covering the ACC when he was coming out of North Carolina, Winston-Salem, going into college. So I remember when he got to Wake Forest. I did a story because Florida State, which I was covering at the time, was recruiting him. And, you know, to see his entire career. I'm at the stage now, man, where I've seen guys' entire careers. And he's been a great one. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, no question about it. Top 5 point guard of all time, statistically.
Yeah.
And you just hope that he had won a championship, but it's a lot of guys that haven't. Stockton never won one.
No, Stockton's
up there, right?
He is one of the baddest dudes ever to play the point guard
CP3
spot.
is right up there with Magic, Stockton, Isaiah. You know, those guys are right there.
You want to talk about the greats that haven't won a champ? I mean, it's Stockton's in there, Chris Paul, Charles Barkley, obviously Patrick Ewing.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
The list goes on and on. There's a ton of great players. All right, we have some welcome backs. Jaden Ivey returned. Had a pretty solid game in his limited minutes. Kawhi Leonard back. Tyler Hero, all making their season debuts in the last couple days. The player you think has the biggest impact out of those real quick?
You know, I want to see Tyler Hero and what he does. He's fighting for a contract. They're trying to figure out whether to max extend him. We'll see what's going to happen there. Miami's done really good without he and Bam in some stages. Now, can they take the next step to get in the top 4 in the East with him back? He's a dynamic player. I want to see what he does with Miami.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
Ivy, because I feel like the Pistons need, if they're going to go to that next level in the postseason, which is what they want, they need another score, and I think Ivy gives them the other scoring option.
Another ball handler scorer.
Another ball handler that can score, and he can score from all three levels too. Any last tip, any last key for the game tonight before we get into our sign-offs here?
Welcome back, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's officially cleared to play tonight. He's going to be available. Let's see what you could do in that front line against Jokic and what the Denver Nuggets are doing.
It still feels weird saying number 8 back. I like saying number 13. It still feels weird. Jaren Jackson Jr. actually the last Grizzly other than Zach Edey to have 15 rebounds in a game. Bet you didn't know that. It was a game against the Celtics last season. He had 20 and 15. The Celtics won, and their leading scorer in that game, Al Horford, had 26 points, and our old friend Xavier Tillman started in that game, had 2 points and 3 rebounds. Something else to watch, Vince Williams, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in his 4 starts. All right, that's going to do it for us.
Great job, Jon Roser. Our bench is deep, our bench is strong.
Rob Fisher, Pete Brevin coming up on FanDuel Sports Network, Eric Jeskin, EP, and Bennett. And the double post after. Grizzlies Nuggets coming your way soon. Peace.